Guys, we are back indeed, and I'm sorry if you're sick of us, but you're going to have to deal with us for one more segment because we have something very, very special for you. Molly McCann joins us on set. Eddie, I'm going to let you take over here because you're the one that can sell this story.
Normally you do that kind of thing, you know, you're taking all the limelight. This is all about Molly McCann. The official announcement that boxing is next. She's officially signed with Matchroom Boxing. Molly McCann will compete now as a boxer. About time, I'd like to say as well. Former ABA champion. Everyone knows the ability as a boxer. Obviously been a massive star within the UFC. Built a profile globally as well. And we're delighted to start the journey with her. Delighted she's chosen to sign with Matchroom. Going to be fighting her all around the world. And there's going to be some massive nights, you know. Had the pleasure of watching a cage side, or whatever you call it, in the UFC, which the atmosphere, the energy, the fan base of this woman is incredible. You know, great person, great fighter. And now, putting the gloves on for real, the boxing journey is about to begin.
Sonny, I was just about to ask you, I heard you guys talking there, you were talking about the old amateur fights and stuff like that. Molly's been a legend in MMA, creating her own name and doing fantastic things for the female sport. Now again, boxing's booming. You were just talking about her pedigree here. How excited are you to see Molly McCann in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for boxing. We all know the star quality that she built with the UFC, and, you know, we need headliners. Eddie knows we need hubs and fighters built through fighters like Molly, and she probably will draw a massive crowd from UFC fans, MMA fans coming across to boxing, and it's the chance to see such a talented fighter in a completely different discipline that, if you was a fan of Meatball Molly McCann through her MMA background, now you'll be intrigued to see what she can do in a boxing ring. I know I am. I'm expecting big and good things to come from this link up.
Molly, you must be absolutely mental, because people leave the octagon and I'm thinking, oh my God, like, you can now just chill out. No, that's all right, you're going to get in the ring. How does it all feel?
This was always the dream, you know, like, as everyone knows, I'd boxed before. My weight didn't get added to the Olympic Games, so the only other option was MMA, and MMA has given me a phenomenal life, one that boxing could never give me. But my love was always in the squared circle, so I cannot wait to fight. I can't wait to just show everyone the pedigree of boxing that I've got. People would probably just think I'm going to run in and just try and take chins off, which is correct. That is what I'm going to do. But in an educated manner, I think I work so hard on building the brand in MMA, and like changing stereotypes and just really working hard on that. And now it's like women's boxing's at like a tipping point. It's quite a pivotal moment right now in the sport, and I think there was only one place I was coming. There was offers from everywhere, but I did send Eddie a little message, and I said it's better the devil you know actually than the devil you don't know. So,
and he did look a bit worried when you said you might not come in steaming. He thought you might be doing
only when
Sonny
she
Edwards.
signed, she goes, by the way, I was always going to sign with you. You know, like,
oh, was you? You could have told me that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, no, but there's no other place I'd rather be. Do you know what I mean? This is the premier show for me. I've known everyone for quite a long time, and I've got a good relationship with Eddie, and I've always been at the shows for the last few years causing trouble, so now I get to bring all the Scousers with me, all the Irish fans, and have a go.
Oh, Eddie, what level does she slot into? That's what is the sort of overwhelming question for me right now, because
I think what's important to know is that she really is a boxer first. I mean, she has a phenomenal amateur pedigree. She's won championships. You see a lot of fighters that try and switch from UFC to boxing because they've already built their brand, but with all due respect, they're not actually elite at the discipline. You know, there's no point naming names, but I'm yet to see a UFC fighter turn to boxing that actually has the credentials and the capability to be a world champion, a proper world champion. And it used to be a lot easier to win a world title in women's boxing. Now it's quite difficult because there's big liquidity within the rankings. We're talking about Molly starting around the bantamweight division, something like that. There's some really good fighters there. And it's really interesting, you know, I was talking to Molly and Graham, her manager as well, about the process. And the process is, she is a professional fight novice at the moment. She's not a boxing novice, she's got great pedigree, but the movement of that career is going to be really interesting, and it is a skill and it is an art. The most important thing is to be active. The most important is to keep building her boxing brand now, and she has the ability, of course, to be a huge star because she's already won. But also, what was appealing about Molly is the draw that she is in so many of our markets. People know Molly McCann, of course, in the UK and Liverpool, but also all throughout America, Australia, the Middle East. And it's really interesting. It's the first time I've ever really worked with a fighter who is kind of a superstar before they've even had a fight. I mean, you go back to like the AJs of this world, and obviously Katie through what she did in the amateur code as well. But it's interesting because, you're starting afresh, but really all of a sudden there's going to be a lot of pressure on. And I think it's exciting for Molly because there'll be naysayers, there'll be people that don't quite understand. I mean, you talk to the likes of Tony Bellew and, the talk about the quality of her as a boxer. This is not someone that's just coming in professional debut, and the experience as well, fighting on that big stage of the UFC, is going to put her in great stead. But nice and active. I think we're looking at somewhere between 6 and 7 fights in year one, and then after that we're pretty much ready to go. You're going to see her fighting for a world championship within 12 months, I think, but just need that little bit of ring time. And I can't wait. I mean, we all know Molly's absolutely, nuts. And she's such a wonderful personality. Everyone loves her. She makes everybody smile, and she can fight. And she's entertaining in and out of the ring. And she'll give it 110%. And I truly believe she'll be world champion.
Molly, I'll leave it with you. You have this opportunity now. It seems perfect. I remember Taylor Serrano won, you being heavily involved with the Matchroom team, seeing how well you got on with everyone. As you sit here now and you envision the next couple of years, what do you want out of this?
I think it's important to understand that I was offered lots of contracts in lots of different places, which may have had a lot more money being there, but the ultimate goal is to be a world champion and not for some phony promotion. I want to do it legitimately. I want to give the sport of boxing the respect that it deserves. I'm not expecting any fans just to be like, straight on the bandwagon. I've got to earn me stripes like everyone else. I promise you, every time I step in that ring, I will always leave everything I have in there, the most honest account of myself. And I promise this man a world title within 8 fights, and I want to watch when I do it. Because I know that's like how it used to be back in the day. But if you, like, shy kids don't get sweets, you know what I mean? So if I can do it in 8 fights, I want a bell to watch.
Deal.
Thanks.
Eddie signed up to another Rolex deal. Guys, thank you ever so much.
Brand. That was the first time.
Now it's a Rolex.
I've got enough
Don't worry
of them.
about
I want
that
some
one.
more, thanks.
We look forward to seeing that journey unfold.
Small talk. Can you go watch the small talk?
Jamie, we're going to pass to you. You're going to wrap up the press conference. Thank you.
Okay, well, that was a lot of fun. How about that? Welcome to Matchroom and welcome to professional boxing. Meatball Molly McCann. Can't wait for that journey to begin. We hope